A few months ago, I built a cabin in the middle of the woods on a 5-acre plot of Australian forest. Since then, we've been turning it into an off-grid home. Power, water, compost toilets, and fixing our mistakes along the way. But the cabin's standing now. We've got power, we've got water, well, sort of. What we don't have is the one thing that makes this life actually feel like living, a proper kitchen, outside, under the trees. So today, I'm heading deep into the forest to cut and drag logs back to the cabin to build a bush kitchen, from scratch. And if everything goes to plan, there is also a special project I want to start before the weekend is over. Most people think Australia is just a dry desert. Well, not here. Where we live is actually one of the wettest places in the country. We get over 3,000 millimeters of rain every year. That's why the forest feels almost subtropical, almost jungle-like. Basically, moist air comes off the ocean, hits the mountains behind us, and dumps all that rain right onto our forests. About 130 days of rain every year. So when you're building off-grid, you learn to squeeze the work in between the rain. Otherwise, you'd be waiting forever. So today's plan is simple. Finish sanding the deck and start preparing the bush kitchen area. But before I head into the forest, the chainsaw needs some attention. It's been sitting for a while and the chain is dull. Which, if you ever cut with dull chain, you know that it's not just slow, it's more tiring and dangerous. The saw bites, it kicks, it doesn't go where you want it to go. There we go, fresh chain, chopped teeth, let's go. The trees I'm after are macadamia. Now, most people know macadamia for the nuts, but the wood itself is incredible for building. It's dense, it's hard, and the big advantage out here is that it's naturally resistant to termites and borers. So for structural posts that are going to sit on the ground for a while, it's pretty much ideal. And we have plenty in our forest. This one's perfect. It's straight, it's good diameter, and it has another tree leaning against it that I need to fell as well anyways. Now, I'm not gonna pretend I'm some expert faller, but I've done a bit of homework. Base cut, back cut, let's see how we go. And down it goes. Well, mostly. It didn't quite make it all the way down. It's caught in the canopy in the next tree, which happens to me more often than I need in this dense forest. The safest thing from here is to just observe, assess where the tension points are, and cut it carefully, no rushing. Here, for instance, I tried to go a bit too fast and got the chainsaw stuck. No drama, just shut it off, no need to pull like crazy to get it unstuck, just again, find a tension point and release it. Once it's down, it's just a matter of cutting it into manageable lengths. 3-meter sections, long enough for structural beams, short enough that I can actually move them, which, as you'll see, is relative. So now comes the fun part, getting these macadamia logs out of the forest. No truck access, no machinery. I can carry most out, but a couple are too heavy. I found a system with ropes online that I was curious to try out and see if it actually worked. The trick is leverage. Instead of lifting the log, which is too heavy, I run the rope around and tie it at a couple of points, and then attach it to a solid branch that then I'll use to apply that leverage. It is slow work, like really slow, but it works. Even Lid had to go, just to prove the point. And no, I'm not saying she's weaker. What's wrong with you people? If she hears you... Then it's onto the trolley. Low tech as well, but it works, especially with my little helper. Safety first, obviously, but try telling the kids they can't ride on the log trolley. Back at the cabin, my partner is on deck, literally, sanding it. We initially painted it, but it's gathered quite a bit of mold, so the plan is to sand it back to natural state, oil it, and then protect it a bit more from the rain. Now, I've been at this for a few hours, and if you've never eaten a sardine sandwich standing on a half-sanded deck while looking at a pile of macadamia logs, well, you haven't really lived. This is the part that doesn't make it to Instagram, but honestly, it's pretty great. With the logs delivered, it's now time to debark the macadamia logs with a draw knife. And macadamia is a bit stud-borne, not easy to debark. The on and off rain is not making things a lot easier. But this is what off-grid progress actually looks like. It's slow, it's working on different things at the same time because the rain might come back, so you need to get it done while you can. Finally, after weeks of rain, it seems we now have a few sunny days ahead. I may just be able to progress a bit faster today. I have to say, there is something deeply satisfying about stripping bark off a log in the sun. Ideally, these logs will dry for a few weeks before I start building, but I can probably use them earlier. I built sheds before with macadamia and it doesn't move at all. It's dense, it's tight grain, so these logs are going to make solid posts for the kitchen frame. It's great to see the deck as well getting back to its original color. It's great to see a bit of progress today on both of these projects. With the logs done, it's time to see where the bush kitchen is going to go. It's right here, next to the cabin. Close enough that we can step out and cook, but open enough that the smoke doesn't blow straight into our living space. But first, a bit of clearing of the site, as this tree in the middle has to go. It was leaning a bit too much to my taste toward the cabin, so I wanted to be safe and tried to direct the fall by putting a secured line. In the end, the line was attached too low and wasn't much help, but we avoided disaster by sheer luck. It did nick a gutter in the back, but nothing too bad. But back to the bush kitchen. The idea is simple. Posts in the ground, a basic roof structure, a prep surface, a cooking area, maybe a small sink. Nothing fancy, just a functional, beautiful space under the trees where we can cook proper meals as a family. It is going to take a while, but today at least we started. Now, I said at the beginning of the video, there was another project I wanted to start today. And I don't want to say too much about it yet. But I will say this. This is paulownia. It is incredibly lightweight, easy to work with, and it's been used for centuries. Well, you'll have to wait and see. I'll show you more next time. But let's just say, if this works, it'll be something special. For those who stuck with me until here, let me know in the comments, what do you think I'm trying to make? So that's today. Macadamia logs felled, dragged, debarked and stacked. The deck is one step closer to being finished. The bush kitchen site is marked and ready. And something else has begun that I can't tell you about it just yet. Forest living is like that. You don't finish things in a day, you start progress one log at a time. And some days it's just a pile of timber and a half-sanded deck. But you look at where you started and a bare patch of forest, and you look at where you are now, and it's enough, it's more than enough, it's home. If you want to see the bush kitchen actually go up and find out what that secret project is, subscribe and hit the bell. There's a lot more coming. Thanks for watching, and until next time.